We have in this wave, and if you don't want an in for profit system, then I would recommend not drinking and driving. It's never a good thing to drink and drive. It's never a good thing to get drunk and beat your old. Some people do that too. But don't drink and drive. Talk about the prison for profit system. Okay, the prison for profit system is where they take a nonviolent offender, somebody that got a ticket, and sentence them to 6 months jail just because they need to fill a bed. It's the only way they can make the profit. Our prison systems here in the United States are run by private corporations now. And that's not a smart thing to allow to happen. Ever. Ever. It's not a smart thing. And the prison for profit system works like this. It takes $8. Well, they get reimbursed by the state. Anywhere $25 to $150. And the state gets reimbursed by the federal government of double that. It's a profit system. Somebody's making a profit. And then when you have commissary prices, well, I have a mate in jail. It's going to cost him $1.25 for a hate ramen noodles. Maybe you should have thought of that before you stole what you stole. Maybe you should have thought of that. But the prison for profit system works like that. And then we have another system here in the United States which nobody ever speaks about. It's a confiscation for profit system. It's where they come in and they confiscate your property because they believe it was involved in a crime. Now your property, unlike you, has no rights. Has no rights whatsoever. You know, your property has no rights. So, you caught with, they might take your car, your cash, your jewelry, or rings, or a necklace. No, always not meant for drug use. Not drug users. People like me and you. How you think I ended up with all this makeup on my face? Other than it's New Year's Eve. But the prison for profit system works like that. And we're going to talk about a few other things tonight. If this live goes any amount of time, if I even get any kind of people in here, because it is New Year's Eve, and I understand this. You know, a lot of people, they just don't understand. The prison for profit system is like Orwellian. And they took God out of the churches. Not like me. That's kind of, for a guy like me, that's really cold. Can't take God out of the schools. That's either gunfire or fireworks. If we get a little bit closer, we might find out for certain. But the prison for profit system is something else, if you could imagine that. But, you know, people don't seem to have a problem with the prison for profit system. By the way, I was dressed up, ready to go out, and had technical to it. It happens from time to time. But The prison for profit system is everybody kind of. Everybody overlooks the prison for profit system for a reason. Because Orwellian and it's you know put crime man by enacting inane laws. Now, how Orwellian everything is. It's out of sight, out of mind. You don't think, looking around, propaganda is on it, but you hear about propaganda coming out. Probably not. But this is for profit system is something we've have to address. Because destroying families, destroying people, ruining lives for profit. The three, and I've seen this in a documentary, and he was caught with 2 joints on him because he had 2 joints on him, but because he had 2, the DA was able to dictate to the judge how much jail time that man would serve. So he's serving 14 years for 14 years. It's where the punishment far outweighs the crime. Because really there is no crime in it. Because if a person is just hurting themselves, and a law dictates that in order for to be a crime to be committed, there has to be an injured person or injured party, correct? Well, if you're not injuring anybody by your behavior, well, has there really been a crime committed? Ponder on that one for a second or two. Then we have this thing that's been going on for a while. I call it newspeak. I stole it from Orwell. They take words and they change the meanings of words. They change it by manipulating words. Hate speech sometimes to offer a different opinion. They call it hate speech. But the only hate I see in it is the people spouting the rhetoric. But they call it hate speech. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Hate speech, whatever you want to call it. I call it stupidity in a box. hate speech is one of the use. If you have a differing opinion, from the current political mindset, they will label you a racist, a bigot, they like just to be able to make your words and make your opinion less than it is. They, you know, but hate speech is that they label almost anything hate speech. You know, if you don't address somebody the correct way, it's hate speech. If you don't tell people, you know, today's age, I don't understand. Call me old-fashioned. For sticks and stones. Remember, sticks and stones. Won't kill you. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words can never hurt me. People seem to not remember that anymore. But it's just Orwellian how they, especially in the media, how they, if you have a differing opinion, oh, you're obviously a bigot. Okay, down here in Texas, not a few of you people. Down here in Texas, we've had problems with border security for 30 years, and we've been talking about it for longer than that. Border, there's so much bloodshed going along the border because the cartels are pretty much a bloodbath to be able to get the drugs across. And by the cartel, remove the artificial price supporters, wouldn't you say? But no, you can't let these manipulate you. The people in the media and the people in the political environment, because they're using all sorts of words, build a wall. How about we talk about buildings over troubled waters? But that won't happen. Why? Because they won't allow it to happen. Now, open borders sounds like a good idea, but so did the Euro, the European Union, all that stepping stone crap. They went to create what they have now over in Europe, the European Union, which is Orwellian, and it's called the centralization of power. Somebody blew something up. The dogs are gonna be going nuts tonight. Actually, my dog is gonna be laying right here next to the bed, right here, cause she happened to her. But we talk about liberty. For truly a free people, and why do we? That prevents you from doing the things you want to do, like smoke weed, do drugs. In a truly free society, you would be free to take any poison you felt like taking. But we don't live in a free society anymore. Many laws at that, where they tell you blah blah blah. Broke the law. How did I break the law? Well, this is 5 years ago saying you can't do that. Telling people what they can do and can't do is Orwellian. with everybody's lifestyles, but then again, not everybody agrees how I live. But it's not. It's not to, United States has the biggest incarceration rate in the known world. Like there's a world we don't know, which is other parts you've never been. But here in the United States, we have the highest per capita than anywhere else. And you have to ask yourself why. Well, one, the corporation, the prison for profit system, you know, they cut everything. You know, no. Jails and state prisons are the main bitching about the plumbing being messed up. Could actually shut instead of having constipation for 5 days straight. And Johnny boy, I hate that you're in jail, but I told you say I'm thinking of you. Yes, you will. Prison for profit system, we've got needed, you know, the confiscation of process committed to, and my car might have been involved in. Even for a guy like me, I see that is crazy. Even a guy shooting artillery shells off that direction. See, we'll flip this around and we'll go. What are you doing, dog? Anything but ooh. No. That stuff over there. But it's out in the county. Who's to say what? But the president because get out of there. Out there, Dutch. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get in here. Like I was. Oh, I farted. Did you hear that? But like I was saying, it's a prison for profit system that has to, because if it doesn't, we're in for a lot of problems. Problems when I see them, like you. But I'll be right back. I gotta go get my soda. I should have got. Move out the way. Move out the way. Whatever blowing stuff up today. Where the fuck am I son? Where the fuck is my son? Is that? Can't say it enough. I have friends that went to jail for their own stupidity, but they still went to prison. Now, I've seen their families struggle just to keep them alive. Because I'm going to I want prison for profit system is the American people. Now, I want gun violence in Chicago. Now, I could be wrong. I'm pretty. These shooting incidents in Chicago are happening for a reason. It could either be the culture. I think a lot of it is, and gangland mentality. But also, I think a lot of the shootings here recently, especially the random shootings, if you pay to like I do, you'll notice that it feels systematic. And how gun teams to shoot people up and disappear. Of terrorism, a state of fear. What I believe the intention is in Chicago. I believe that's, the intention in Chicago. I really do. Can't tell me that those that orchestrated. But wait, Alex Jones slammed because he said that about other places. Well, Chicago, it most definitely feels like most people kind of shit is that. Sounds like some racist bullshit to me. Wonder if Monty Python is on Netflix yet. But you have to think about what they've been doing, last 20 years. Project for New America called for a new Pearl Harbor. A catalyzing event. And people never heard of Project for a New America. Wonder why. Wonder which think tank. Well, I know which think tank it was. It had Rumsfeld and Colin Powell and a few Warhawks, involved in it. The Project for a New America. And what? It's a Project for a New America. Well, they called for a catalyzing event, such as a new Pearl Harbor. Then we had 9/11, and they passed the Patriot Act, which the Patriot Act basically your civil rights and threw them out the window anything anyway, because in 1973 and 33 is on the walkout zones to where they want to be. Because if they made one giant leap, people would react. But if they take it incrementally, okay, we go right here, and then nobody says nothing. We'll take another step. Nobody noticed. We take another. So, they have all this, Patriot Act, Patriot Act 2, the American Patriot Act, all the different things that's come down the line since 9/11, and you have to think to yourself, who benefited? It was somebody else. People that won't control you and kill you. Georgia Guidestones, look them up. But I'm going to sign out. I'll be on later. I got a few more hours before I can do a Facebook Live. So, Facebook Live, I'm not going to be doing that till later in the morning, about 6:30 in the morning Central Time. So look for me. Look for me on Facebook. If you know me, come see me. And I love y'all. Ta-ta.